That was one of the other cool Batman Easter eggs from the end of the episode, where they basically confirm a long-held suspicion by comic book readers. They implied this in the Batman Long Halloween comic book, which heavily inspired the first Batman Matt Reeves movie. You probably remember people talking about this when that first Batman movie came out because there was so much of her near Carmine Falcone. We learned why because eventually they implied that he was her father during the movie, but her whole thing in the movie was confronting him over the death of her mother. So they basically told us that she was his daughter in the movie without literally saying it. Now they're finally actually saying it. So maybe we will see some sort of Hangman, Catwoman team up in the Batman 2 or in the Penguin Season 2. And she reveals that she learned the truth about what happened to his brothers, finding evidence inside his raincoat with the flashlight. So this whole time, big reveal, big WTF moment, ever since then, she's always known that Penguin ultimately led to the death of his brothers. Didn't directly kill them, but kind of killed them. There's still a lot of argument over whether or not he meant to kill his brothers. He didn't initially mean to kill his brothers. He only made it real after he stopped and turned back and fell asleep against his mother while they were watching the movie. That was when he decided to make it permanent. The actual moment you can pinpoint and say this is when he killed his brothers here. Because later, when we actually see her confronting him, finally telling him the truth, she always despised him every single day since she learned the truth about him killing his brothers. Basically, the worst possible thing you could tell Penguin, like the mother that he's loved and idealized so much, wanted her affection so badly that he killed his brothers, telling him that he's trash and she's hated him every single day of her life. We'll get into that in a second just because there's so much to unpack from Penguin's side of things and the way that he reacts to it in the moment when it's happening. So badly that he's now paying Eve Carlo to cosplay as her, living out his fantasy. You just have to imagine Batman busting in one of his windows, seeing what's going on, and being so horrified that he just gives him like 5 minutes, like, all right, just clean this up, I'll come back and beat the crap out of you later just because this is so messed up. Too messed up and Oedipal for Batman to even want to deal with him for a couple minutes. Then we find out what happened to Victor after he disappeared a couple episodes ago before the blast. Conveniently, like they wanted him to live so that Penguin could kill him at the end of the finale, so he had to have an excuse to not be around when the bomb went off. But they use his scene to set up the whole betrayal with all the rival gangs and all the twists and turns later, with Penguin helping them also upturn each of their organizations too.